have the power.
Hey April fans, this is Todd, and today we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about Micronauts. Now, it's funny, this is one of my first real action figures where they're little and small. I mean, I had cool toys before this, like the $6 Million Man and G.I. Joe and One Big Jim and some other cool stuff too. But for action figures, Micronauts were the real first ones where I had the spaceships and the rocket tubes and the city and all kinds of other cool stuff. And so I remember years and years ago, my wife's like, you're collecting way too much stuff. Pick one thing and stick with it. And I thought, oh, I think I'll choose Micronauts. That'd be cool. But then I decided to choose He-Man, which of course you guys are probably glad that I did, because most of my channel is about He-Man. But still, now that Super 7 is bringing back Micronauts, we're going to go ahead and open these up and check out the cool new Micronauts and compare them to the ones that were released in the 70s. Let's go ahead and turn the camera around and let's look at some cool new Micronauts. So there they are, the Micronauts. Now, Super 7's already given us some other cool ones, like we have way in here, that Force Commander back there, that little one, kind of reminiscent of the big one. And then we got Baron Karza, the little one. And then we got Biotron, the little one. And then we got, I can't remember his name. Let's look on the back of the box and see if it tells me. Microtron. I thought it was a Microtron. And I think that's it. And now we have 2 time travelers, and we have one more I did not buy on purpose, and that is the Emperor. I never had the Emperor as a kid, and he isn't really that important to me, so he's the first one I've skipped of the bunch. So anyway, we'll see if that's a mistake or not. I see he's still in my cart at Big Bad Toy Store, so I might get him. I don't know. But I actually have 2 more of these on my cart too. I first wanted to open up one set first to see what they were like before I dove in and bought a bunch. So I just got one of each to compare to the original ones. So I have a yellow one here. Zoop. Stand, man, because these guys never stood right. You always have to stick them into something to make them stand. Let's see if I can get them to stand. Oh, I got them to stand. And I have an old blue one too. Let's see if we can get him to stand. There we go. Hooray! I got 2 to stand. And we'll compare them with the original counterparts from way back in the 70s. I can already tell by looking at them they're quite a bit different, but we'll see if it's enough to say yay or nay. So let's check them out. Now the blue one is what I'm most excited about opening, so let's open the yellow one first. Let's see. Time Traveler, Time Observer, Servant to the Micronauts. Now, for those that read the comics, they had some really cool things. These were also known as the Enigma Force. And the Enigma Force helped create a brand new superhero that helped defeat Baron Karza in the 8th Micronaut issue. It was really cool. I remember being so excited about that. I loved it. They flew into Commander, ran, and it was just awesome. Anyway, let's go and get this open. And first, they got a really cool box. And I'm glad that they actually used 2 different pieces of art for this. Now, they are similar. It's changed the color and changed the thing in the front. But when I was a kid, the Micronauts all had just one picture that they had for all the figures, but the toy was a different color. So it was I think it was just a clear one they used to show in the front. But what's interesting is his chest piece matches this chest piece, and this one matches that chest piece. Now, when I was a kid, it was kind of random what you would get. You would get a random color and a random chest piece. See, here's my other yellow one there. And here's an orange. It has this always reminded me of some kind of motor, like an 8-cylinder motor, a V8 or something, the way it was shaped. And then I always liked this one the best. That's the only showed in the comics. I don't know why. I never liked this one. It reminded me of an old man's ring, like his pinky ring or some weird thing. And then let's see what this guy has. Oh, he's missing his foot. Oh, I'm footless. Not footloose, footless. And he has the one I like, the cool one. And oh, I found his foot. Now, what I used to do, looks like it has seen better days. That foot's going to keep falling off. What I used to do is I would take these off and pretend like they were different powers. So like, this looks like an engine. Oops, that's the wrong one. This is like an engine. So when they'd wear this one, they had like massive V8 power. Oh, power Micronaut. And they could go fast and they could move heavy objects and everything else. This was the standard data robot one. And I forget what I used to use this one for. But again, I didn't like this one, so maybe I didn't use it for much. But I used to remember the big engine one was always the one the Micronauts wanted to use mostly when they had to have extra power. More power! That's funny. I could have sworn I had more time travelers when I was a kid. I had a lot of yellow ones. Only one orange. So, here's what's crazy is back when I was a kid, I took all my Micronauts and stored them in Tupperware so I could give them to my kids someday in the future. But anyway, I did. And unfortunately, a lot of them broke almost instantly upon opening because I did not put dry ice or something else into the Tupperware bins that I stuck them in to take out all of the oxygen. So they oxygenated. It's like, no. All right, let's get an opening. I wonder if he has the same... Okay, they have the same power. I was wondering about that. It might have chose different colors, do different things. All right, let's get it open. Let's get it open now. There we go. Now, the original Time Travelers, when I was a kid, came with a small little L-shaped piece. And basically, you'd stick it in their back, and it was kind of like their little jetpack or whatever. Oh, his head is really loose. I'm not a fan of that. The original ones have a rubber tube that goes across the top, and that's what keeps the head from being so wobbly. This one doesn't have that same design. Looks like they actually designed them a lot differently. They still have the O-ring, and the waist still wants to turn to the side. Is it still? Yeah, it still turns at the same side. That's funny. All right, so let's go ahead and break these down. Now, first of all, these look like little people because they are so stocky and they have such big hands that their body ratio just looks like they're munchkins or little people or Oompa Loompas. Oompa Loompa Doompa-dee-doo. And so it's kind of strange how the skinnier ones, the original ones, look more man-like, and these look more Oompa Loompa-like. Now, I can see why they did it, because when you make them bigger like this, they are stronger, and they're not going to break as easy. And, oh, they don't just connect there. The hands don't come off. But let's talk about articulation before I jump too far into this. There's no ankle articulation whatsoever. I think this is one piece. I think this is just painted white. And there is knee articulation. And what's nice about this knee, check this out, is the knees of the 70s, if you take a look. Oh, no, but I take that back. It is the same. I could have sworn it was like the elbows where it was only just one piece, that one side was one piece, one side is the other. But no, the knees actually had the bottom piece being in the middle. Oh, this one's broken too. Look at that. Yikes. And then like, you know, a U-channel type thing to hold the knee in place. This is the original one. The original one had ankle articulation, as you saw, which this one's broken. So this one, no ankle articulation. The knee joint. And then we have hip movement. We have waist movement. We have shoulder joint. We have a single jointed elbow, which is the old style, where it has one half on one side and one half on the other. And let's see if the chest piece comes off, because that's important, because that's how you use different weapons and stuff. It's got to come off. It does. Hooray! Look at that. That's kind of cool. And so you could probably interchange those. It's weird. They don't snap in. They just sit on there. But the sides kind of hold it on. Weird. And then the hands are not removable. It looks like it's white plastic. I kind of almost want to scrape it just to see what's underneath there. But that's so weird. They're solid. You can't turn them. They don't come apart. It's like it was molded with the feet already in there. Like they put the hands in the molds and then poured the yellow plastic, or vice versa. Started with the yellow, then added, because there's like no separation point. Not just like they're glued, but almost like they were molded that way. Weird. 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 And then, of course, they have a hole in their back, but they didn't come with that extra little jet piece. At least I could find it on the old Micronauts. Let me go and pause this for a second. I almost lost it. I found one. There it is. So here is that little jet piece I was talking about. This is like a little tube for like your faucets or something. And I remember you would take these and you would just stick it in their back like that. It's like their little jets. Kind of like the Jetsons' little backpack. You can imagine little bubble things coming out of it. And I know it's kind of dorky, and it wasn't shaped exactly 90 degrees. It had just a little bend to it. And if you stuck it in this way, it didn't quite work right because that side was too short, but you could put it in that way too. So but it's just too close to his body. This way made a whole lot more sense. So it was a little bit out, but there you go. Or you can stick it in their foot like this. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. And then hook it to one of the holes in the Micronaut city so he could stand into something. So that was always kind of fun. Or what I always used to do is take one of these and put it in his foot and then hook that to the Micronaut city or the rocket tubes on top or something else so they could stay standing. So that was always very cool. All right, let's get back to the new one. Now, I know people have already complained when I've mentioned this in my last videos, but I don't care. I'm going to mention it again. Super 7, you dropped the ball on one major item. One major item, which drives me crazy, and that is the hole in the back. The hole in the back. Let's see if they messed up on these ones too. Can you use the old stuff in the new holes? No, you cannot. It's just so close. They just made them a little bigger. I've been tempted to buy a reamer just to ream out their holes in their back to make it work. And I may get that reamer. I might go to a tool store of some sort, hardware store, and get a reamer and just very carefully ream it out to the right size. So you can pick, because here's the cool stuff you can do. You can put little jetpacks on them like that. Look at that. Lasers and, you know, kind of fun little things that you could do. But unfortunately, with the new one, they did not make the hole the same size. You know what? It's close. It's so close. All right, I got to pull out the Baron cards that we got because I remember it not being so close. Oh, I stuck their feet down with poster putty. Nah. It is just a little bit bigger hole than last time, and not much. It does fit the Baron Karza jetpack, but it is just a little bit loose. And yes, that hole was tighter. That is funny. They actually made the hole just slightly bigger than last time. As you can feel, this it's just a little bit loose in there. I mean, you could jetpack them that way. Interesting. But see? It shouldn't spin like that. And it doesn't spin in his. It's pretty solid. Poster buddy. All right. Well, we got the yellow one all opened and checked out. Let's go ahead and check out the blue one. The one I've been waiting for. Dun 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 dun. The coveted blue. Now, of course, we've already talked about articulation. I'll just take them out of here. Now, there was this company called Palisades. Hey, his head's tight. What? We got the yellow one. He's got the bobblehead. Bottle. Let's zoom this up so you can see. Look at that. Bobble. Where his is nice and tight. Oh, what's going on here? Let's see how close his hole size is. Super close, just like we saw with the yellow one. You could jam it on in there, but it won't go all the way down. It'll just stay at the very tip of it. Like I said, I got to get that reamer. These are way smaller, the holes in the feet. But that's so crazy. But see, look at it. Looks like they're short people. They have little short arms because they're stubby, little short legs, and their heads are kind of big. They look like child proportions. Like you're dealing with a toddler instead of a full-grown man. He does look very toddler-like. Like a 5-year-old or a 3-year-old. His body proportions. I'm going to go ask my wife and see what she thinks, because I'm just curious if she thinks the same thing. I'm not going to tell her what I think first. I'm just going to ask what she thinks about what these look like. Hold on, I'll come back and tell you what she thinks. Okay, I'm back. I asked my wife, and I handed her these to look at first, the 70s ones. And then I said, these are the new ones from Super 7. I go, what do you think about them? I didn't tell her anything, how to think or what to think about them, so I wouldn't precursor her idea. And she said they look the same, but these just feel more cheap. And I said, okay, but she goes, well, the piece in the middle feels like it's plastic. I said, well, it is plastic, and so is the one in the 70s. It's just a chrome-coated plastic. And then after that, I did prompt her and did tell her what I thought. I thought, well, I said, what do you think about the body proportions? And she goes, they're the same. I don't see any difference. And I said, to me, these look like toddlers and Oompa Loompas. And she said she didn't see that. To her, it looks like it was a man. Even the arms are shorter. Look at that. I don't know. I still can't unsee it looking like a toddler. It's a baby time traveler. You know, it's just not because of the height, but just because of the proportions. Anyway, I did try to convince her. She couldn't see it, even after I told her my thoughts on it. To her, it did not look like a toddler at all. So maybe it's just me. But I don't know. You guys give me your opinion. Look like toddlers or Oompa Loompas or short people, or does it look like regular full-size humans? So anyway, thanks for joining me, which is weird because Baron Karza doesn't have that same weirdness to him. He actually looks like he's a full-size person. I don't know why those ones look that way to me. Maybe because I've stared at these toys so long growing up. So it just looks strange. Maybe so, maybe not. And that's it. I will see you guys later, and see you later. And I am not going to get the other ones from Big Bad Toy Store. I'm going to skip on the Emperor. I'm not going to get the other 2 time travelers I have, and just not happy with them. I know, like I said, my wife thinks it looks fine, but I do not. He's got a rubber band around his waist, holding his metal piece on. What? Hold on a second. So if I take that rubber band piece off, is it just going to keep falling? Oh, it's just, there it is. See that rubber band right there? So I wonder if they know these pieces are going to start falling off really easy. Let's stick it on and see. So it doesn't snap in place. It just kind of sits there. Now there's one thing that does bother me, and that is these rivets are backwards. These rivets are on the inside and pressed on the outside. They should be the other way around. Let's check the yellow one. Yeah, the yellow one's the same way. Again, the head of the rivet's on the inside, and the smash and the rivets on the outside. They got the shoulders right, but they got the elbows. Let me check the original one. Oh yeah, see, the original one's done right. They got the rivets on the outside and the pressed part on the inside. So I'm not sure what happened there. If that's just the way they designed it, but that's going to drive me crazy. Yeah, you can't just turn them around either. They got a swivel here that I missed on the articulation point. But if you just turn around and swivel it, it doesn't bend. It doesn't do the double jointedness. Oh well. Sorry, Super 7. Usually I love your stuff, but this time it is the end of the line for me. I don't know how many more Micronauts I'm going to buy. I was so excited before they even came out. I even was thinking that with the new O-rings for the G.I. Joes that you guys could make Micronauts, and sure enough, you announced them a couple weeks later, and I was like, yes! Just couldn't believe that we were going to have Micronauts, and then just kind of disappointed. The hole's the wrong size, the rivets are wrong, they have weird shaped bodies that look like toddlers, the heads are bobbly. Sorry, man. I was really hoping to really like this line a lot, but I think that unless you guys come up with something really cool coming up, this might be the end of the line for me for Micronauts. We'll see. We'll see what you come out with next. Anyway, I'll say it. What the heck? Good journey! Bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it!